let me urge my fellow Jamaicans, especially the operators of public gyms and open spaces, that we are now asking that you come on board and with immediate effect tone down or cease operations in these areas.
Our fight against COVID-19 continues in today's Jamaica Magazine. You've heard the call from Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie. Let's abide by government's social distancing orders and play our part to protect ourselves and others. More COVID-19 reminders and information await you right after this break.
What to do if you think you have been exposed or are experiencing signs and symptoms of COVID-19? Immediately call 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683. In addition, you should stay at home. Don't go to work, school, or any public place. Do not use public transport, and avoid visitors to your home. You may need to do this for up to 14 days to reduce the spread of the infection. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
In a recent press conference, numerous updates about government's comprehensive response plan to the novel coronavirus were revealed. Catch up on the latest details next.
Along with the Ministry of Finance, the stimulus package has been announced and is now in the process of being finalized for implementation. The Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance have given April 9th as the date for commencement, and we are all working to achieve that. So I want all the workers of the industry to appreciate that. And the package is going to be very comprehensive in terms of how it impacts every single worker of the industry. If you are a contract worker, you will have the benefit. If you are a full-time worker, you will have the benefit. If you are a craft vendor, you will have a benefit. If you are a juta, or what we call a transportation player, partner, stakeholder, you will get the benefit. If you are a small hotel owner who is impacted because of this, you will get a benefit. And so we have looked in a broad way to ensure this happens. The second thing that we're looking at is how do we build capacity? So through the Jamaica Center for Tourism Innovation, we are going to have an online training program and certification. The good news is that we have partnered with the American Hotel and Lodging Institute and the American Culinary Foundation to enable this to happen, and all that will be provided for free. We're working also with the Heart NTA to ensure that there's a complete program. So when you are not working formally, you can still be training virtually. And that's very important. The next response is that the hoteliers themselves now are responding. And they are providing support for workers. But beyond that, they are also responding to the national COVID-19 program. And so far, over $1 million have been provided through different type of support arrangements. So it is a all of industry response to get this one behind us as quickly as possible. Inside also, we are completing the arrangements for the pension. You remember we talked about that. And on Tuesday, I tabled in the House the motion for the regulations to bring into effect the critical elements of how the implementation of the scheme is going to be effective. So the debate will take place the next time the House meets, and then it will be approved, and that will be behind us. Additionally, the Board of Trustees have completed their work and have appointed the fund manager, that is Sagicor, and they have also appointed the fund administrator, that's Guardian Life. So the exercise can now begin immediately as we turn around. And to close that little loop, we passed over the first tranche of the $1 billion commitment that the government of Jamaica has made to the fund by providing the first check of $250 million that has been passed over to the fund managers. So the pension scheme is on track. But we are establishing now a task force, a recovery task force. And that recovery task force is going to be charged with looking at the industry as it unfolds now, and to develop a blueprint for a post-COVID-19 tourism. And this is very important to us because we know that the world is going to change after COVID-19. We know that there are going to be new paradigms that will emerge. We know also that there are going to be new markets that are going to emerge. And we know also that some of the demographics that now drive the tourism experience are going to change. So what we have to do is, first of all, to look into the future a little bit, to see what's happening with terms of technology. Where's technology taking us? What is the new innovative drives that are going to influence new products, new experiences, and most importantly, who are going to be the new tourists that are going to come post-COVID-19? And I think that this is very important. We also want to look at how the airlines and aviation is going to be configured in this new paradigm that we're speaking of. We are talking with the market, and I must tell you that the market is not as pessimistic as some people think, and that there is some green shoots that are emerging. And we are seeing, for example, that the appetite for travel has not died. Bookings, for example, for May and June are still very strong. People have not gone and said, okay, I'm going to cancel for those months. Yes, March, there's cancellation. Yes, April, there's some level. But the bookings are still out there for May and June and onward. People have bought vacations sometimes a year in advance, as you know. People are members of clubs. People have a rewards program that they are benefiting from. And all of these are impacting on the way that the appetite for the industry is still holding. But everything is dependent on how the world manages this COVID-19. And so today I have here the Minister of State in the Ministry of Industry, Agriculture and Fisheries, and we are going to be handing over to him a set of tablets TEF has purchased for the purpose of enabling all the small farmers out there to have technological access to the platform of Alex. So the small farmer who now is producing his supplies that would normally go to the hotel can now connect with supermarkets. He can connect with other marketing sources so that he can move his produce from the field and get a return even during this difficult time of COVID.
This donation of the 6 tablets, laptops and 6 smartphones will ensure that this office team that we have, they can access it from wherever, and when the orders come in, they can now channel those orders on to other people. What I want to say to people, what we have recognized now is that the Alex, as we call it, is critical, because people are unable to leave their homes to go to the regular markets and supermarkets. So what we have said to the team and what we've seen, Minister, is that we now have more orders of just individuals who are logging on to the platform, seeing that we have cucumber, that we have cantaloupe, melon, and making their orders. And what we find is that a lot of the farmers on the platforms will deliver themselves. So the Alex platform now is now providing us an outlet for access to this excess produce. So I say to those who are listening, if you're wondering how can you get some of this excess produce that we have, go on agrilinkages.gov.jm. It used to be for big orders, but the platform is so configured that you can order even 2 pounds of tomato. What we find, the farmers who are willing to deliver, and a lot of them are taking those orders. And now that the team can work from home, we can call the farmers, we can get them to deliver right to your gate. So I say, if you want to help us through this time and to help our farmers, go on agrilinkages.gov.jm. You can send us an email, you can make your orders, we will deal with it. The last thing, Minister, I think now as we continue along the road to strengthen, we have an office in Kingston that's doing a lot of good work. It would be nice now to expand our reach throughout the various parishes. I think we should have an office in the western parts, places where we're very familiar, St. James, St. Elizabeth. And again, if we can provide these form of laptops and smartphones, then we can have Alex connectors all over Jamaica. And that will help us. And we can merge it with our marketing officers, give them the technology, have everybody on the Alex platform, and we can, coming out of this now, have this platform where we connect our farmers with the buyers directly.
Practice good hygiene by washing your hands frequently using soap and water. Here's how you should do it while conserving water. Turn on the tap to wet your hands, then turn off the pipe. Lather your hands and the tap with soap. Turn on the tap and wash your hands, back, front, and in between fingers. Use some of the water to wash off the tap, then turn it off. Dry your hands with disposable hand towels. If you don't have running water, use a hand rub containing 62% or more alcohol. If hand sanitizers are not available, rubbing alcohol, Dettol, white rum, or household bleach will do the trick. And if all else fails, let hand washing and the handling of potable water be a two-person event. Each person will take turns pouring and washing hands with sitting water. Now is a good time to consider installing a tap on your containers to reduce the risk of water contamination. Faucets can be easily attached to drums, buckets, or 5-gallon water bottles. And to ensure that the outside of the containers are clean when recapping, disinfect it with hand rub containing alcohol that's 62% or more. The 5 R's of water conservation are also necessary to practice. Reduce water wastage by investing in water-saving devices. Reuse water at least twice before discarding. Replace leaking pipes, faucets, and other plumbing equipment. Recycle wastewater and use it for gardening, car washing, or cleaning of public spaces. And reclaim water through rainwater harvesting. We all must play our part to ensure there's water to combat the coronavirus and stave off prolonged drought. Knowledge is power. The more you know about the novel coronavirus, the better it is for you to safeguard your health. With that said, here's all you need to know about COVID-19.
Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses found in both animals and humans. Some infect people and are known to cause illness ranging from the common cold to more severe diseases such as Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, MERS, and Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, SARS. Research reveals that SARS-CoV was transmitted from civet cats to humans in China in 2002 and MERS-CoV from dromedary camels to humans in Saudi Arabia in 2012. A novel coronavirus, novel meaning new strain of the coronavirus not previously identified in humans, was identified after an outbreak was reported in Wuhan, China in December 2019. It has subsequently spread to a number of other countries through human-to-human contact, and the World Health Organization has since officially named it COVID-19. The incubation period for viruses is the time between infection and the start of clinical symptoms of the disease. Based on information from other coronavirus diseases, such as MERS and SARS, the incubation period of the 2019 novel coronavirus, or COVID-19, is determined to be up to 14 days. As with other respiratory illnesses, this disease can cause mild symptoms, including a runny nose, sore throat, cough, and fever. For coronavirus generally, the person is most infectious when displaying symptoms. It is difficult to identify COVID-19 based on symptoms alone, as they are typically the same as infections of the flu or cold. A laboratory test is therefore needed to confirm if someone has the coronavirus. The infection can be more severe for some persons and can lead to pneumonia or breathing difficulties. More rarely, the disease can be fatal. Older persons and people with pre-existing medical conditions such as asthma, diabetes, and heart disease are deemed more vulnerable to becoming severely ill with the virus. The new coronavirus spreads primarily through contact with an infected person. It's spread through respiratory droplets generated when a person coughs or sneezes, or through droplets of saliva or discharge from the nose. To prevent spread, it's important that everyone practice good respiratory hygiene.
It's a similar respiratory precaution as we would take for influenza.
For example, sneeze or cough into a flexed elbow, or use a tissue and discard it immediately into a closed bin. Washing your hands frequently with soap and water or using an alcohol-based hand sanitizer eliminates the virus if it is on your hands.
Washing of hands is very, very important because any kind of droplets that get on your hand, you can transfer to your face, and you can therefore get it into your ear passages or into the eyes and cause an infection.
When someone who is infected with a respiratory disease like COVID-19 coughs or sneezes, that person projects small droplets containing the virus. If you are too close, you can breathe in the virus.
The general precautions in terms of making sure that you keep your distance, 3 feet is what we recommend.
Keeping this distance between yourself and other people, particularly those who are coughing, sneezing, and have a fever, helps to prevent those persons who don't have the virus from getting it.
If you are sick, to stay away from other persons, that means not going to work or school.
Someone who is coughing and sneezing should wear an approved mask where necessary.
Wearing a mask is only for the sick or for medical persons who are doing a procedure. Actually, if you go ahead and wear a mask, you might be the one who would get the infection, because they put on a mask and you see it happening. They put it on, they start sweating, they start playing around with the mask. It's getting moist. It allows the infection to get in easier. So you are actually exposing yourself. And so we have to be very careful how we use masks and other protective equipment.
Data collected by the WHO so far suggests that the coronavirus may survive a few hours on surfaces, and applying disinfectants to surfaces can kill the virus, making it no longer possible to infect people in this way. To avoid getting infected, do not touch your eyes, nose, or mouth after touching any surface. Inform healthcare providers of any overseas travel in the 14 days before your symptoms developed, or if you've been in close contact with someone who has been sick with respiratory symptoms. To date, there's no specific medicine recommended to prevent or treat the new coronavirus or COVID-19. But persons infected with the virus should receive appropriate care to relieve and treat symptoms, and those with severe illness should receive optimized supportive care. Remember, practice good respiratory and hand hygiene.
Solid waste management is a critical component of curtailing local transmission of COVID-19. As householders strive to keep their homes and frequently used surfaces clean, domestic garbage collection is now even more important. The National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, has called on citizens to partner with the agency in taking all measures possible to contain the spread of this virus. The recommended actions to support the sanitation crews are securing household garbage by properly bagging, tying, and placing in a container for collection, double bagging garbage containing tissue, gloves, face masks, and diapers, placing storage receptacles at the front of the premises where they can be accessed without hindrance 24 hours per day. Persons with uncollected garbage are also encouraged to contact the agency through the following media. Call toll-free at 888-CLEAN-JA, that's 888-253-2652, or WhatsApp 876-448-3220 or email nswma@nswma.gov.jm. Visit the agency's website www.nswma.gov.jm and reach out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The NSWMA continues to work closely with the Ministries of Local Government and Health to ensure the welfare of employees and the citizens of Jamaica.
Isolation is a term used to describe the act of staying away from others once you've started to display symptoms of a particular illness, such as COVID-19. Avoiding contact with other people not only helps to prevent the spread of disease to family members, but also to the wider community. Here's more.
Apart, but still in it together. United, though not physically. Welcome to the period of social distancing, an important method to contain transmission of the novel coronavirus, COVID-19. Social distancing keeps people from interacting closely or frequently enough to spread an infectious disease. Social distancing involves minimizing contact with people and maintaining a distance of at least 1 meter or 3 feet between you and others. It also extends to avoiding public transportation as much as possible, limiting non-essential overseas travel, working from home, and skipping public gatherings.
For persons who are particularly sociable, really you should keep down the group meetings. I know it's difficult, but please. And at a time when persons are visiting or so, the hugging and the kissing, no. As much as possible, just cut that out until COVID is gone.
Locally, schools and other gathering places such as bars, nightclubs, and similar areas of entertainment have been ordered closed. A number of large events such as sporting activities have also been cancelled. Even if persons must gather, then the social distance rule of 1 meter must be adhered to. Also, no more than 10 persons are allowed to congregate within the same space at a time. Markets, supermarkets, corner shops, restaurants, and cook shops, which remain open, should at all times do so with a limited number of persons.
Gatherings in any place shall not exceed 10 persons. And this one has to be strictly enforced.
The Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, is also subjected to the policy and is permitted to carry seated passengers only. Likewise, taxi operators are required to carry 1 less passenger than they are licensed to. Social distancing is a tested and proven method to limit the spread of a virus. This strategy saved thousands of lives during both the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918 and in Mexico City during the 2009 flu pandemic.
What we are trying to do is to institute the measures that we believe will inure to greater practice of social distancing, which is what is now being recommended as the most effective way of controlling the spread of COVID-19.
Please note, it is okay to go outdoors, particularly around your yard space if you do have one. Being close to the garden is especially recommended for seniors who may need to maintain exercise of the limbs. The point is not to remain indoors, but to avoid being in close contact with others. When you do leave your home, wipe down any surfaces you come in contact with, avoid touching your face, and frequently wash your hands. Here are some tips to help you maintain social distancing. When you go grocery shopping, buy as much as you can at a time to minimize the number of trips. In addition, select a time when the store is least likely to be crowded. Avoid dining out. You may opt for takeout or delivery service. If you must take public transport, do so during the off-peak hours and avoid taking vehicles that are full. At work, implement the remote work or staff rotation policy to decrease the number of persons within the same space at a time. Also consider virtual meetings.
In some places we've seen pictures where they're conducting a meeting and they have the chairs, they have the space marked out for the chairs, so they have a little square on the floor and they're separated.
Delay trips to crowded venues like the park or malls. The best mechanism to ward off COVID-19 and other contagious viruses is to stay home. If you must venture out, practice social distancing. In addition, take a hand sanitizer with you and use it after touching surfaces and door handles.
Some persons are not comfortable with hand sanitizer, so I'm here to tell you that the hand sanitizer is just as good as soap and water. If you can get hand sanitizer, make sure you check it to see the percentage of alcohol. It shouldn't be less than 60% alcohol. We recommend 70, but sometimes it's hard to find the 70%. So if you see the hand sanitizer and it has 60% alcohol, that can work. If you can't see the concentration of alcohol, do not buy that hand sanitizer.
To properly carry out a hand rub, apply a palmful of the product in your cupped hand, covering all surfaces. Rub your hands palm to palm. Rub your right palm over the back of your left hand with interlaced fingers and vice versa. Rub your hands palm to palm with fingers interlaced. Rub the back of your fingers to opposing palms with fingers interlocked. Rotationally rub backwards and forwards the clasped fingers of your right hand in your left palm and vice versa. Once your hands are dry, they are now safe. There are numerous steps we can all take to guard ourselves and the vulnerable against COVID-19. In a moment, Jamaica's Chief Medical Officer, Jacqueline Bisesa Mackenzie, will remind us of a few of those precautionary measures we can take to ensure that our island home remains the healthy place of choice for persons to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Limit your chance of being exposed to someone who is ill and protect your elderly relatives and limit their exposure. Protect the persons in your families who have chronic illnesses. You protect them by staying at home and limiting your own exposure and the possibility of bringing home the virus to them. Stay at home if you are ill and contact the health department if it is that you need to have any kind of assistance or you have any concerns about your illness. Anyone that has traveled must stay home for the next 14 days. If you develop symptoms, call the health department. Wash your hands frequently and maintain a 3 to 6 feet distance from persons.
As we close today's show, we can't encourage you enough to keep abreast of the latest information about the novel coronavirus COVID-19. Do this by staying connected to our YouTube channel and our website, jis.gov.jm. You're also able to connect with us on all our social media platforms. There's Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Until then, I'm Audrey. Be safe.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.